Hey guys, I want to talk about the mods I've been working on for the fuel system for the LSA blower going on the G8. I was looking at buying some aftermarket fuel rails, some of the billet rails, but one of the upsides, in my opinion, of the ZL1 rails is how large the actual cavity on the fuel log is. The main line that all of the injectors branch into. Some of the billets don't have that large of an opening in there. The in my opinion, again, one of the restrictions was that the main fuel line fed in down through here, came in to here, made a 90-degree right inside this square fitting, and then down and split to both sides, and had to come back to the middle and fed out. I think that was their major restriction and limitation of this fuel system. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm running a triple four pump system with three, I think, 430 liter per hour fuel pumps in it, and I'm going to be running a return system, so it'll be a regulator controlling the return flow. So what I did with this is I welded AN fittings, 8 AN or AN8s, dash 8s to each end of the log, and took off that original feed and welded that up there. I left the crossover. Basically now it's essentially acting just as a balance for the systems, because all four corners have the AN fittings on it now, and I'll be wiring off, feeding it from the front, coming in with a Y fitting going to the front, coming out the back with another Y, then going to the pressure regulator, return regulator, that'll go back to the tank. So there should be tons of fuel capacity and a lot of balanced flow. Very, very low chance that there wouldn't have equal flow on both rails. The one thing I did have to do is modify the end of the casing. So the stock casing basically has a foot on it right there, and I talked to some of the guys that do the porting on this, actually Lemmings, and that's who did my porting on mine, and we both agreed that really this didn't have any structural function to the blower itself. Most likely probably just put on the casting so that you can stand it up on end and kind of have a foot there, but it didn't have any structural or integral piece of function to the blower. So that was the only thing that was keeping me from being able to put these fittings on. So on this side, I started out and I just cut it off straight, and then took my burr grinder and cut that out. I got a little smarter after that. On this side, I took a hole saw, 1.25 inch hole saw, and drilled the hole first about where I thought it needed to be, and then came in here and cut that off, basically the piece on the outside. And I still had to come in here and clean it up with a little bit of a burr and finish it off with the Dremel and the sanding. But that ought to be a real clean install. That'll leave enough room for me to get the 90s on there and come back to the Y then. So I'm real pleased with how this has turned out. Appreciate my buddies that did the welding for me, because I'm not that good of a welder, so they helped me out there, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing put together. Thanks.